Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the quick real estate tip for the day. This whole week we've been talking about the advantages and disadvantages of renting versus buying, buying versus renting. Each day we tackle one component that's going to impact your overall decision. The idea being is that by providing additional information, some of which you may not already have, it will enable you to make a well-informed decision and a better decision for you and your family. Today we're talking about mobility. Now usually, and at first glance, this may seem to favor the renter. The idea being is that if you're renting, it's easier to move if you need to. I challenge this, and here's why. If you're renting, you are tied to that lease for that term. With very, very few exceptions, in order to get out of that lease, you're going to have to pay some type of penalty. You don't face those penalties as a homeowner, but you do face the hurdle of being able to sell your home. If it's a job transfer, usually, now this is dependent upon the company, usually that employer will help you maintain at least an equal kind of equity position. So in other words, if you're forced to sell in a buyer's market where prices are going down, sometimes that employer will split or help you out with that equity difference, because effectively your job change is forcing you to sell in maybe the most, in not the ideal circumstances, and that employer would step in to make you at least whole or at least even. Please check with your employer if you're in that situation to confirm, but again, as I have seen this happen a number of times. So when putting them side by side, it really is kind of like I would estimate it kind of even. Is the renter, yeah, I mean, if you could time your move with your lease term, it may be easier, because on the sell side, even though we anticipate being able to sell relatively quickly in a seller's market, things like that, there could be things that would impact your ability to sell. I mean, if you're not able to sell in 30 days, it might take 60 or 90, or whatever the case might be. That's going to extend, the period that you're actually in the home and responsible for those expenses. So yeah, I mean, that would kind of favor the renter, but on the other hand, is that sometimes those rental agreements are going to require a notice. Sometimes 30, sometimes as long as 60 days prior to when you move out, you got to give them notice. So you have to time that. You got to know where you're going, like 1 to 2 months in advance. So like I said, I kind of rate it kind of split. I don't think it's possible to make a decision based on one, being a better option for you just on this. I would highly encourage you to take into account the other topics that we've talked this week, and maybe even some we haven't, to put them all together to assist you in making that decision. If you did happen to have any additional questions or want to ask more detailed questions about your specific situation, please don't hesitate to reach out. Shoot me a text or an email, or give me a call. I'm here to help. That's all I have for you today, so I hope you all have a great day.